Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to Muslim Farmville. Thanks for stopping by. This is where you can find spirituality, sustainable and slow living lifestyle. This video was recorded way before my surgery. And I want to take you along and share with you what I am making, and also as a homemaker how I was feeling in this video. I always prepare the day before, and these goods were from the garden, our neighbor's garden, our garden. Some things are from farmer's market, so I need to use it. We just prayed Maghrib and it's dark, and I wanted to share with you something that was going on in my heart. And I wasn't angry, I wasn't sad, I wasn't upset when I was making this video, but I want to share it with you what I was experiencing. I was having a hard time, which now when I look at the video, I don't even know why I was having a hard time, honestly. But I was having a hard time. Not too long ago, my husband came to me and said he had some gut test. And it was suggested that it's a good idea for him to go to a different diet, which is more like seafood diet. So I thought, oh, okay, we have to try this. He's feeling fine, his health is fine, but since his gut test showed to eat more seafood, that means I have to cook a little bit different. So that was like, oh, it threw me off a little bit, not too much. And then one of my children came to me, my little one, and said, Mama, I want to go back to vegetarianism, because we used to be vegetarian. We have tried so many different diets, which I'm so grateful for. So anyway, I thought, oh my goodness, this means I will have to cook few different meals different. You have to do different things now. I don't know if that was stressing me out, or maybe I was starting to get sick and have my appendix removed. That was coming. I don't know, but my heart wasn't pure and clean being in the kitchen this day. And so I decided, and I told myself, you need to prepare few things. And that's what I was feeling. So I decided to chop all the veggies that I had at home, because the next day when I'm cooking, it will help me out. Meal preparing helps so much when you are a homemaker, when you are a mom. If some days you have a little bit of energy, do something that will help you the next day and your family. And instead of sitting around, I can sit and watch TV or watch all kind of other things and let the time pass, and the next day I will be all lost in the kitchen. So when I have a little bit of energy, I do my best to meal prep. I have seen myself and my husband sit on the prayer room with a big towel sometimes, and the children, we will all sit while we're chatting. We will chop all kind of veggies, fruits, prepare all kind of things. So these goods, I thought, instead of going to waste, make some jalapenos, and we have some onions and garlic. And I want to put to use because I do have in the cozy kitchenette area in a fridge. So whatever I can ferment, I can put that into the fridge, because jalapenos, we use it for, especially when I make pizza, homemade pizza, low carb homemade pizza, or when I make sourdough pizza for the children. I will go ahead and just put it, because my children now are teens. We have some teens at home and they can eat jalapenos, onions, garlic. They are just growing. So when they grow a little bit, and they can try other foods. When they are so little, they just like their plain food most of the time. So since mine are starting to grow now, they love jalapeno, hot sauce, and different tastes. So somehow I forgot about that things are getting easier that way, so I don't even have to make plain foods anymore. But honestly, just thinking about the boys and I can eat same meal, and my husband is trying this different diet, my little ones trying to do some vegetarian, that threw me off. So I don't know if I was stressing out, or like I mentioned, maybe I was starting to feel sick. I wasn't doing my best. But these days, when I look at the videos, I will pay whatever I can to get that energy back again, because I cannot move as fast as I used to move. I would go in the past and go in the field and go ahead and put 10,000 steps. Now I can't. But I'm taking my time. My energy is coming back. So little by little. So let's add a little bit of garlic into the jalapenos and onions. And as you saw, I am boiling a little bit of water from the Berkey, apple cider vinegar, a little salt, some peppercorn, and just pour that on top. Add a little more of warm water and let that sit for a few days on the counter, and then even up to a week, and then I'll just go ahead and put it into the fridge and we will enjoy it. And the amazing part is that what brings me to joy now is, since I can't do a lot when I see these videos, subhanallah, Allah was preparing me, because now we are using all these fermented foods. And in the past we made all kind of tomato sauces and onions and all kind of oils, and so Allah was preparing me, our one creator. So good. So let's go ahead, and I cleaned these tomatoes already, and they were sitting around, and I thought, no, they are not going to go to waste. They are clean. Cover it, put it into the fridge, and you know what? It will be ready tomorrow, and I will show you what I will do with all these good peppers that we chopped earlier, and carrots and everything. There. I am just gonna go ahead and get few things out of the freezer as well. When I put so much time for meal prep, oh, it helps calming down. If you are like that, or what do? You have free time when you have a little bit of energy and a little bit of extra time. Right now, that those ice trays, I make sure I fill it and we have ice ready. Especially you guys have seen me, I use extra ice for my orchids. Once a week I feed my orchids just a couple of pieces of ice and they thrive. That's the only way I can keep my orchids alive. So alhamdulillah, whenever I am short of something, I always replace it to something else. Whenever we eat meat or chicken, I do my best to save the bones for bone broth and things like that. And as I go, I always like to clean, as you can see, because I am not going to go ahead and chop everything or cook and then end up cleaning, because that will take so much time and energy as well. So let's go ahead and wash. I have a lot of fruit flies in the house and flies because this was the end of summer, and fruit flies will come, flies will enter. Our cat usually will be upset and he tries to take care of the flies, and he ends up not to, because they are way too fast. So once in a while he will. So one thing I do over and over is wipe the handle of the fridge to keep the house clean. We have children that always grabbing, especially our children are always outside doing some project, doing something. So now I have this ceramic bowl. Sabrina gave it to me years ago. I'm just going to put all my onions in there. These onions are organic. I'm from an organic farm not too far from me. Whenever I am short of something, then I do my best to support that family, because they do so well with their organic foods, which I appreciate and I like. So now, since we prepped a few things, let's get some water from the Berkey. I usually also like to feed my sourdough starter. Then it's always ready, if I need to make bread, if I need to make pizza, whatever I need to make, rolls, cream cheese buns, so on. And then sometimes the discard, I would use it for waffles as well. My children love waffles or pancakes, whatever that they desire, then I would do it. But it's been quite some time that I made anything. So now I'm just gonna let that sit by the heater, and I am here another bottle. As you can see, I have some kefir going on. They stay warm here. In a couple of months it's gonna be winter. So I decided to soak some lentils and black beans. When I soak them, the next day they will be ready to cook. And instead of buying canned beans or lentils, I like to buy dry goods, because dry goods will stay such a long time, especially into a glass jar. Let's soak black beans too. So I thought, since my little ones want to try vegetarian, I thought some beans, some lentils. So I covered it overnight and let it sit there. This way will be a good, healthy way to feed them, and cheap way also to feed them. So this is the next day. All that stuff that we chopped it, I want to put to use and have some food ready. Of course, I have to make my tea first. Let that cool down, and I had some chicken in the fridge unthawing. This way, then I can put to use, because when I have meat, some kind of protein in the fridge, it's ready, then I can go ahead, put it together quickly. And if I forget, the next day I regret, because it's so frozen and we don't have a microwave to unthaw it. So I have some cherry tomatoes, cilantro needs to be used, carrots from last night, some beef fat, sprinkle a little water. That goes straight into the oven. Let's put together the lentils. Last night I was able to rinse it a few more times before I went to bed and let the skin remove. Easy to digest. I will go ahead and wash a few more times. I decided to add a big tomato in there instead of using my tomatoes that we canned in the summer. Tomatoes will give such a good taste and full of vitamin C as well. For the fall season, it's perfect. Some onions with it. It's going to be delicious. And I decided to put it all into the Instant Pot. This is one thing I should have remembered, and be grateful that I have Instant Pots, no matter whose diet or what, that I can just put things in the Instant Pot and be thankful that it will help cook, so I don't have to stand there. So the lentils go into the Instant Pot. Veggies, herbs. My mom gave me a big thing of a cumin, coriander. She grind it together. Put that together. Some salt, some black pepper, and a little bit of rosemary oil that we infused in the summer. Rosemary also, not rosemary, but garlic infused oil as well, and some fresh garlic. Put all of that together. Garlic fights with infections as well. Cook that together. Let the Instant Pot take care of it. I just push the soup and that's it. So now I rinse the black beans. The black beans, I'm just going to let it cook kind of plain. If we need to use it for chili, if we need to use for like mash it and use it for burritos, we can do all of that for tortillas. Whatever we want to do with it. So that's it. The beans and the lentils, it's cooking. I decided to put together a dish that my husband loves. When he went to Spain, I don't know, 10 times or more. The first time when he went and he came home, he said, I have to make you a dish. And that was from red peppers. Those were the peppers we chopped last night. And tomatoes. You mix them together. This dish is so good, you all. Some purple onions. Mix it all together. Some olive oil, good organic olive oil, some balsamic vinegar, some salt and pepper. Mix it together, and you know what? Let that sit. The more it sits, it tastes so good. You can dip it with bread. You can mix it with some meat, whatever you want. It's delicious. Subhanallah. So now I'm going to use the rest of the veggies. Let's put this together. I wanted to make few vegetarian dishes. So we have the beans and lentils, and we have the Spanish pepper dish. Now I'm taking a break and had some tea. I'm just gonna let these veggies cook together. Tomatoes and the zucchini and even some green tomatoes from the garden. I thought I'm just gonna put them all together. When you saute some veggies like this, someone can eat it with rice. Right now I'm putting together some shrimp for my husband. Since I made some chicken for me and the children, my husband can have some shrimp. Also my vegetarian children, a couple of them, can have the lentil and beans. And everything came together. It was just me stressing out. The end of the day, everything was well put together, and I prepared these meals, and it kept us few days. The shrimp I added with some pesto. Let that cook. It gives such a good flavor. And we will also cook some rice on the side. All of that will also cool down and put it into the fridge. So let's get some of the chicken out. Here's the shrimp is ready. Shrimp does not take, the veggies are ready. The shrimp is ready. Everything is smelling so good. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. It does not cost you anything. Just to hit the subscribe. And here is the chicken. Give the videos thumbs up and please share it. This is a dish that's full of veggies. The beans are done. I'm gonna let it cool down. As you can see, the lentils. Let that mix together. It smells so good, y'all. I'm just gonna go ahead and use the hand blender, mix it all together and make it nice and smooth. Here I poured it into this glass jar. I always let things cool down before I put it into the fridge for next day use. So this way was a good way that for me to meal prep, the day before and put it together. I have some rice also going in the Instant Pot. If you're looking for Instant Pot, look in your secondhand stores. You can literally get it for $5 instead of $100. So the rice is cooked. I'm just gonna let that cool down and pour it into a dish, glass dish as well. It's all ready. Cover it up. That will go into the fridge as well. It will go straight into the fridge. So I have few days different foods that is going to be good for my family and healthy and warm, home cooked. And here I'm sharing with you when I was sick. I'm a lot better now, which I'm walking by myself, but just looking at these old videos, what I went through, I will be so grateful to get my old energy and myself back. So no matter what you are going through as a homemaker, be kind to yourself. Here's my daughter feeding me. The children were walking with me, taking care of me, and just learning that lesson not to get so upset over little things that were okay to do. Alhamdulillah wa shukla. Thank God for everything. Now I'm getting my energy back. Salam alaikum.